everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Lydia here with your full moon in Libra reading. And my goodness, has the energies been incredible. I don't know about you, but in the last few weeks, we have really seen an amazing uprise in our spiritual development, our internal clarity clock. That's what I would put it. The intuition has been through the roof in a lot of regards, and I've heard a lot of things about people feeling tired, or some symptoms, physical symptoms, maybe even emotional, mental symptoms that have come up as well. And that is because we have been getting some amazing solar energy coming in with all of the solar storms that we've had and hitting Earth. It's pretty much no part on Earth is going to be exempt from that upgrade that we're getting from the solar energies. And all of these energies are coming in as incredible particles and just penetrating right through to our cellular and DNA level. We are getting a huge upgrade, and we are definitely past a threshold for a shift. I encourage you to actually to go to my website, takebackyourpower.live, and sign up for my newsletter, because every week we are getting some incredible insights from channeled messages from my guides, and it's unbelievable what's happening. So I encourage you to do that. So let's start with this reading. I'm using two different, or basically one deck that I've always used. That's the Moonology Manifestation deck with by Yasmin Boland. But I'm also going to be using another deck that I haven't used for a little while, and that is the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms, and that's basically Colette Baron Reed. I love these decks. So this is the manifestation deck that we're going to be using as well. So those are the guidebooks that you're seeing. We're going to go straight into the Moonology Manifestation card. I've picked the cards. There's 3 cards. I've picked the cards, but I haven't looked at them. So we have last quarter moon in Pisces, talk less, feel more. And look at that beautiful picture. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So talk less, feel more. One of the things that I've been noticing too is that we're definitely in a feeling time. This is today in particular, and I'm guessing this full moons are always about completions, endings. And I also feel that the endings include people. We've had some people pass away in our family too, and it is interesting how there are a lot of people that are exiting at this time. So I'm feeling grief. I'm feeling from around the world, not so much just from the people that have crossed in my life, but basically seeing and feeling how the earth is feeling throughout this, and the people that are on the earth, and how they're going through this time of change. And it's saddening. I can feel the sadness. So this is interesting, because we're going into a time of intuition and clarity of our intuition and upgrading within ourselves. We are at a point of self-care as well. So talking less and feeling more, it also alludes to feeling in this present time. So being in the present is it, and it's important. And when you feel, try as hard as you can to feel the energy of compassion and of love that is coming in from those light codes. Oh, it's just unbelievable. When you take the time to do that, you kind of feel warm and fuzzy all over. It's just basically a time of going within, taking care of yourself and the loved ones around you. People that are around you kind of need support at this time. In fact, not just people, animals, plants. We're all going through an upgrade. Any sentient being is going through an upgrade. And everything that is on this planet is changing, transitional changing. Yes, we're also in spring in the northern hemisphere and fall in the southern hemisphere. So there's a change going on all around. And I believe that talk less, feel more is what is looked at and what is expected at this time. We're also going through, we're about to enter, actually we have entered, because it's April already, can't believe this. So we've entered eclipse season. There isn't a lot of eclipse that I've seen. There's a couple eclipses that are coming up, one of them being the solar eclipse. I believe that's April 20th, 21st, something around that time period. And I find that the energy from these eclipses are also impacting us at this time too. I mean, the full moon just amplifies everything, for one, and it's in Libra. So the other thing too is the scales. It's basically, we're seeing a lot of legal battles that are going on. We're seeing people push back against any top-down government power restrictions that are imposed upon people. We're seeing the people taking their lives back, or at least attempting to in many different ways. And I think the scales are changing. So Libra scales, basically the astrological sign. we're seeing that we're definitely changing the dynamic from what it has been for centuries. So it's definitely something that we should keep our eyes open up for at this time. The equality of things, that the shift between what has been and what is to be, which is going to be the new Earth. So let's look at the last quarter moon in Pisces. Talk less, feel more. The danger in your current situation is that you're going to be really good at starting things and less good at finishing them. This card suggests you need to talk less and feel more. So rather than telling people what you want now, feel your feelings about what you want. What comes up? Do you believe in yourself or not? This is an important time to actually figure that out too. Perhaps you started strong but are running out of steam. If so, go within and ask yourself how committed you are to your goals. That it's okay to change your mind in a time of transition, I would say so too. Manifesting X, one of the current energies is all about feelings, and the other is in its head. Where you can meld the two? That's the way. Put it together. And once again, looking at a duality here, where we're finding basically the head and the heart, or your feelings and the logical parts of things. So we're now, I mean, that kind of goes Libra too. Manifesting mindset. Why ruin a moment with words? Sometimes feelings are enough. It's good to talk, but it's also good just to be. And that is so true. Manifesting magic. How do you manifest this? Well, these crystals work especially well for the sign of Pisces. Purple fluorite, labradorite, sodalite, amethyst, desert rose selenite, or celestite. Choose one and hold it while you meditate, visualizing a lustrous golden light swirling around you. Alternatively, keep your crystal close by as you work through your situation, or use 5 or 6 to make a crystal grid. So these are opportunities that you can use, and crystals are wonderful ways of amplifying any energies you want to manifest. So the manifestation affirmation that is actually written here is, I feel all my feelings and it feels good. And it's true. At this time, when we're basically looking at our own feelings, literally take it and have feelings and just put it down on a piece of paper and just look at it. And when you see the kind of feelings that you have as a human being, we've been here for, I don't know how many hundreds, maybe thousands, maybe millions of years. We have seen many different things. We have been experiencing, we have found a lot of trials and tribulations and tests that we've gone through, and every lesson that we've learned, we have felt our way through it. We have taken emotions and basically allowed ourselves to feel it. Sometimes we let it kind of overwhelm us, and that's where sometimes, if it continues like that and you end up incarnating into another life, you might have to resolve that. However, the feelings that we have are meant to be felt. We're here as feeling human beings. So feel that emotion, whatever it may be that you have right now. If it's deep sadness, if it's anger, if it's joy, if it's anything at all, feel it deeply, but then choose to let it go. so that you can actually make room for other feelings and for other things to happen in your life. So that, I think that's it's a lovely card to start with, and to also just to keep in mind, even though it talks about the last quarter moon in Pisces, we're dealing with the same energies that are with this card, and the guidance that we get from it is pretty paramount at this time. So let's go on to the next couple cards. That's through the wisdom of the hidden realms. The first one we've got is the Lady of the Gift: generosity, receiving, and withholding. So I've been told these cards have the capability of being read upside down as well, which is the protection position. But I've been told from my guides, read them face up. So the Lady of the Gift, generosity, receiving, and withholding. Let's see what it has to say, and then I'll do a little bit of talking about it right after I mention, or right after I talk about it, right after I read it. Here we go. The Lady of the Gift brings a message of tithing. To be your ally, she requires you to look at the nature and method of your giving to others. The world is your church, and you only need to distribute 10% of your wealth to others to ensure that the flow continues. Yet, this doesn't necessarily mean giving money away, nor does it imply a direct action of charity, even though the tradition of tithing is material. In fact, the kind of tithing the lady asks of you isn't tangible or material at all. She's asking you to look at all human beings as important in the divine scheme of things and show others that you believe in them. Pay attention to how you treat people and be mindful of your perception, even if seemingly poor strangers. If you see others as successful and abundant, and act as if you believe they have value, blessings all around are assured. Your belief in others has greater value than you could fathom. This alone guarantees your success long term. Remember that you can only keep what you're willing to give. Now, I see this as basically a time of giving and receiving as well. This is a time of taking the time to do self-care, but also, and having compassion for yourself, but also having compassion for others, and recognize their divinity. Realize that they're there doing what they are doing in their life so that they can go along their life purpose path. And it also means that sometimes what they do may not agree with you. You may not like what they do. And I can tell you that it's probably something that you can look at. Some of the people that have been in governmental power for the last little while, that we don't always agree what they're doing, but maybe they're playing a role. I hesitate to say something too, because I mean, at this time, I've felt a lot of peace or peacefulness over this last little while. And I believe it is because we are shifting in our DNA. The shift of our consciousness is continuing on a huge upward trend. And I feel it. So it's not as easy now to actually become triggered or to gain biases about people or things or events. However, I do not condone some of the things that our higher ups are actually doing. And I believe that this is where the fact of looking at the role that they're playing and actually seeing a different perspective of what the results are from that. For example, you could look at some of the things that have been done or said or implemented upon a group of people, or whatever the case may be, from some of these individuals that are trying to control, or that have been in control for a little while. And you might look at that and say, that's absolutely crazy. I would never have thought that it was even possible for them to do something like this to people, or to the environment, whatever the case is. But at the same time, recognizing that on the flip side, maybe they triggered something like our shift. Maybe they triggered the fall of, say, economy and financial situations and old systems that really needed to fall, so that the people can pick things up and move things forward. And this is where confidence is huge when it comes to this time as we go into more planets actually move into the sign of Aquarius, and the humanitarian effort, the power to the people, as that continues to move forward, as we enter or basically become part of the age of Aquarius, we're going to see more and more of what we want as our systems, the newest systems of a new Earth, start to take place. So it is kind of interesting how this is looking at the give and take of things, the receiving and the giving. Receive as much compassion from yourself and from the divine as much as you can, but also give it to those who need. And send light and love into the world so that it neutralizes maybe some of the effects that the control has over people, or basically sending it to people who need it, to groups of people, countries, and states that need this energy. So looking at people as their divine, the divinity within them, as opposed to the wrong that they're doing. So the last card that we have to complement this is the prison waif. Interesting, the lady of the gift. So giving us the gift of recognizing the divinity in others, even though sometimes it can be very difficult. And the prison waif, self-sabotage, poverty consciousness. Now that is something that I hope many of us are getting rid of, because we certainly don't need that. A poverty consciousness is something that is so out of date. It just basically thinks, it makes you think that you don't have enough, you're in a state of lack, and that couldn't be furthest from the truth right now. So let's look at what is being said from the prison waif, and what is the results. When the prison waif arrives in his realm as your ally, he comes to remind you of the law of paradoxical intent. Your own self-sabotaging thoughts and hidden beliefs are, in fact, preventing you from your highest good. You might believe that you're doing all that you can to manifest your reality, but perhaps you're giving into thoughts such as, I can't do this, I'm unworthy, I'll fail, so why try, I don't deserve this, I'm unlovable. In fact, you're locked in a prison of your own making. That's good news, because it means you have a key to let yourself in or out. This is a sign that you need to spend some time with yourself addressing those beliefs that counter your hard work to get ahead. You can change them if you want to. You don't want to stay in prison, do you? Take an inventory of your thoughts. Let yourself out of jail and spend a few minutes outdoors in gratitude. And that's true. Just get out into nature. It's time to let the sunshine in. Now, I have always long since been told how we can have, or basically we put ourselves in the prison of our own mind when we limit ourselves, because we are unlimited beings. It may be very difficult to actually recognize this for some, but there's a lot of us that are starting to really believe this, because that is how the shift in consciousness is happening, that we are starting to recognize how important we are in the scope of things, in the galactic cosmos, and the divine orchestration of the universes that exist. We are important. And because of that, I seriously think that their life now is well beyond the material. And knowing that in this life, we have to still use material goods like money in order to exist, to live. This is saying, don't put yourself in a prison by thinking that you are not enough, or that you don't have enough. Because the more you do, like thoughts, like attracts that like, and that is literally a law of attraction. That is something where any thought you put out there is going to result in something. And this is the basis for what many of us will say as we create our own reality. Whatever we see out in the world right now, don't think that you don't have something to do with it. You do. As a collective, our emotions, our thought patterns, our whole what we say to ourselves and what we say to others, it all has a culminating effect into what we see in the world, in the global atmosphere. So that is meaning what we've been saying about the fact that we create our own reality. We have been creating our own reality for millions of years. Now, I believe that we have the opportunity to listen to our own consciousness, our higher selves, and begin to change that in our favor. The world itself at large, all of the thoughts of I don't have enough, or I'm not good enough, or I don't have enough, or whatever the case may be, if you shifted it around and you started to be thankful of what you do have, then that shifts the reality, the energy of the thoughts that go out into the universe. It is unmistakable how that can totally change your life around and the lives of those that are around you, because you have a network of individuals that are around you, your family, your loved ones, close friends, pets, your plants. Like, I'm serious. It's literally the way you feel and the way that you send that energy out there makes a big difference in the results that happen. And the caution here is also, do not be attached to the results. So if you want, and you know that you can create your own desirable reality, don't be attached to what the results are. Just let them unfold, and know that whatever it is that you've said that you want, or wanted at least, that your guides are there, the divine beings are there to help in co-creating that to happen. So it goes well beyond. There's a complexity that we just can't fathom in our minds. But trust me, this does work. And this is a perfect time for it. The full moon being completion in Libra, the scales and the balance of what we want to see in the world. What do you want to see in the world? Do you want to see an upward trend of everything that's out there? Peace, equality, humanitarian efforts towards other people and other groups of people. Do you want to see an equality in the financial and the economical? Do you want to see our climate and our weather actually balance out? We have a way of doing that as well, and that again is the energy that we send out there. So at this full moon, I ask you to take the time to spend it on yourself. Give yourself at least half an hour of self-care, and give yourself the opportunity to share that time and compassion with someone else that you enjoy being with, as well as know that whatever thoughts that come out of your mind or of the words and expression have meaning and go well beyond. So yeah, let's make this world something that we really want it to be. And for those that are dealing with and knowing that the shift is happening because of physical symptoms or mental symptoms, emotional symptoms, just know that you're not alone and that we're all here to support each other. So with that, I hope this has helped. I hope you have a wonderful full moon, which should be the 5th and 6th of April, depending upon where you are in the world. And take the time to hit that subscribe button on my channel, because I will be posting a lot more videos, and I've got some things in the go. You know, my little hamster wheel is just going in my head, and I've got lots of ideas. So thank you very much for watching, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks again. Bye for now.